Hey everybody, PKO Gamer here. Well, what are we talking about today? I don't know. Oh, I do see something we're going to talk about. Drum roll, please. We're talking about the Retro VGS game system. What? What do you mean it's not the Retro VGS? What? Hold on a second. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. We're talking about the Coleco Chameleon. The fuck is that? Well, this is from, I just saw this by a good friend and a fellow YouTuber, the Goof. And he got to this first. He actually talked about me in the video, and I appreciate people actually caring that I beat them or not. But it is a competition. Me and him are mortal enemies, and this is what it made me feel like when he beat me.
No, it's not true. That's impossible.
Search your feelings. You know it to be true.
No! No!
So, in all fairness, and all joking around, this is it is a great competition between him and I, especially on the Retro VGS. Oh, excuse me, Coleco Chameleon. It's hard to say. So yeah, I saw this by the Goof. Go find him on YouTube. Give him a like and a subscribe. And he must have saw this a lot later than me. I think he records at a different time than I do. Retro VGS was that retro console by Mike Kennedy's team, that was going to do so well, and they fucking dive bombed on Indiegogo like, well, big bird trying to fly. So this is a press release. I'm going to read a lot. It's right here on the laptop. Let me read this for you guys. December 17, 2015, which is today, must have been real early. Video game industry pioneer Coleco re-enters the market, partnering with Retro VGS Systems, Inc. to introduce a new modern-day video game system called the Coleco Chameleon. Okay. Coleco Chameleon is a versatile new video game system that serves as a modern-day take on the classic game console and will accurately play classic games from the past. The Coleco Chameleon also has the ability to play brand new games in 8, 16, and 32-bit styles, a growing and popular genre in today's gamescape, like, Shovel Knight, Binding of Isaac. They're kind of like 16, 24, 32-bit. They have a little bit more pizzazz to them, but they have that look to them. Chris Cardillo, a partner, I think I said that right. I probably butchered the name, I'm sorry. A partner in Coleco said, Mark Thompson and I are excited to work hand in hand with Retro Video Game Systems, Inc. in the launch of the Retro Chameleon, or the Coleco Chameleon. See, I'm messing this up. I'm trying to read both of the Retro Coleco. Oh, this is going to get interesting. It's ironic that a new retro, he put quotes, video game system would actually revolutionize and revitalize the Coleco brand. And for the first time in nearly 20 years, the Coleco Chameleon wants to again play brand new games on long-lasting, durable cartridges that can be played, traded, and collected for a lifetime. And all game cartridges will include high-quality plastic clamshell cases with illustrated instruction manuals, etc., which we all knew they were doing kind of the Genesis thing, which is cool. I wish Nintendo had done that on the NES and the Super Nintendo and Nintendo 64, but they didn't. And as let's see where I'm at. Retro Video Game Systems, Inc. President Mike Kennedy adds, the Coleco Chameleon is a love letter to the classic cartridge-based game systems that came for it, and we love the fact that it will succeed Coleco's successful Telstar and ColecoVision product lines. It will take gamers and their families back to a simpler time when games were all about great gameplay and fun factor. This is a really interesting part. The Coleco Chameleon will launch early 2016. Early launch. And also be demonstrated at Toy Fair New York 2016, February 13th, 15th, and 16th. So we've got just around 2 months to see this sucker run. Interesting. So what does it look like? Well, I'll pop up an image here somewhere above me. I'm looking. It looks like the Retro VGS before, the same controller. Where Retro VGS was, Coleco Chameleon, and it's got a tie-dye like, rainbow chameleon. Chameleons are, those amphibious lizards are super cool that can change their skin colors and pigments to match their surroundings and hide. Well, this is, of course, going to be like a chameleon that does a little bit of everything. Again, the console, these are all pre-renders. We haven't seen real stuff yet because reasons. The front, there's something that the Goof mentioned, and I do as well see. There's 4 USB ports. The DB9 or the 9-pin, which was the Atari, the Genesis, and all these other. I think even Coleco was with the Coleco or the television. I keep getting mixed up which one actually lets you plug in a game console, a card. Atari, you can plug Atari stuff into, even Genesis. They took those out. So anything else? The about. Let's see. Blah-diddy blog. Yeah, just a lot of no lengthy system. It doesn't give you, we have no specs. Specs have been ripped out. So we have no clue what's in there. FPGA, got some ARM chips. Yes, no, maybe, sort of, kind of. The image on their Facebook page also shows the Toy Fair icon for New York 2016, and also shows Kickstarter. So they're going to actually go to Kickstarter, not be fucking idiots. I'm just going to be plain simple. Not going to be mean about it. They were fucking idiots for going Indiegogo, and they failed miserably. So what do I think about this? As a dude who is, a gamer, even a lot of people have seen, I've done a lot of stuff on the Retro VGS. I was on a Retro VGS podcast with a guy named Chris. We did 2 episodes. You might be able to find it. He was on, he bailed. No drama. I'm not going to get into bashing. He just decided he didn't want to do it no more after they went to Indiegogo, and I kind of get that. So I was on a podcast with it. He had invited me. I've done tons of videos. This is going to be another Retro VGS, now Coleco Chameleon, and I do a lot of these, and so I've invested a lot of time into this. But my thoughts of this are, okay, I'm almost indifferent right now. I'm not mad about them. I'm not pissed off at them. I'm not, the thing about it is here's what's happened. Let me just tell you. Mike Kennedy and his team fucked up many points. They came out saying $150, $180. They couldn't hold that point. Then later on, they came out right before the Indiegogo campaign and couldn't even finalize their specs at all. And then third, they came out and then hit a stupidly fucked up, price point. And then the fourth thing, they were fucking rude and douchebags on Facebook and a lot of to their users, calling people cheap. Their attitude and their arrogance really pissed me off and it made me just push me off from them. I have nothing against Mike Kennedy and his team. He watches this. I've tweeted to him a couple of times. He's responded once or so. I have nothing against him personally. I'm not attacking you guys, but y'all made some bad choices. You have. And you have a gigantic uphill battle. I mean, you're fucking going uphill with a mudslide coming down, and you have 4 flat tires. You have pissed people off. You have pushed away a lot of your fans. Like, I said, I worked with a guy named Chris on that Retro VGS podcast he was doing. Some people are just like, I'm done, fuck this, I'm out. Not everybody. You've done all these 2 things. You've made a bad name for yourself because you could not deliver and you kept changing, and frankly, there was a lot of lies. We cannot make a prototype. No, you could make a prototype because, let me pull up my YouTube subscriptions. I subscribe to a guy, and I'm going to pull his name up, whether it pisses off some, Mike Kennedy of his teams. His name is Kevtrix. Yeah, Kevtris. He has a prototype FPGA fucking console, and he's displayed it on YouTube. The guy's had it, and he's wanting to make one. He put like $1,000 or so that's rough. He may have put more out of his pocket. And you guys came out. We just can't make a prototype. It'd take too much money. Bullshit. 3 or 4 men that can't go out and scrape together a little bit of money. Also, what about a lot of great new companies that went out and just got their own fucking loans? You came out to Indiegogo asking for $3 million, plus around $3 million or so. I'm like, fuck, are you kidding me? This thing shouldn't cost that much. Shouldn't. Anyway, there's all uphill battles here. What do I feel like? I'm sounding like I just don't care. I do care. But they've got to do a bunch of things. One, they've got to deliver a fucking working prototype. They said they will. I'll believe it when I see it. When they do, hats off to them. They finally did something they said they were going to do a while back. 2, they got to deliver a price point that's not a fucking load of bullshit. I don't care if it's even above $250, they're full of shit. I don't care what stuff they're putting into it. I don't care that it can be a chameleon and do all these other things. It's playing a cartridge-based system that you're going to have to, and I'll get to this other point about the cartridges. You have to get people into development for it. And also, I'll go back to another point. They pissed off a couple of developers. At least one one was a game, pardon me, that they left off their Indiegogo page. And they're like, well, where the hell is my game? And if they had some bad relations. But they pull these things out and make these games out here. They got to deliver them. 3, the cartridges. Okay, what is it going to be like? Is it going to be fucking expensive? What type of storage you got? And don't tell me it stores 64 megs or 100 megs. No. A gig or 2. No, that's still not good enough. A 3DS cart can store between 4 and 8 gigs. I don't care what you guys make. You got to have stored gigs because you're going to be indie developers, retro developers that want to make big games. They'll have some voices and everything. But can you do it in a cartridge that works, lasts, and is cost efficient for developers, and you're not asking $60, $70 for a game? I mean, before it was like $20 to $40 or $30 to $50. I forgot a lot of this stuff. I think it's $20 to $50, depending on the size. Okay, fine. But at high-end size of a $50 game cartridge better be gigs. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2. I'm talking about 4. Because if the little tiny card for DS, and I've shown that card many times before, the versions can hold 4 gigs. You guys can take a cartridge about yay big, put that type of chip onto the motherboard or onto the circuit board in there and make it work. You've got to. And, they've got a lot of stuff to come up that can't do with it work. And what about the controller? Everybody said that y'all used that Wii U controller. You're having them redo it with the USB. So, but you got USB ports, so it's okay. And before you're saying that you could go into the system and tell it what to do and then reconfigure the USB controller. So that's kind of a moot point. So there's a lot of things here. What do I feel like? I hope they do well. I hope they knock our socks off. But frankly, this team, Mike Kennedy, their team, have shown nothing but failure. No, I mean, it wasn't them coming out and trying and just failing. And a lot of people were like, yeah, I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them. No, they came out and they lied about they couldn't get a prototype. They lied about the price point, or they lied about it. They shouldn't have came out with the price point. They're going to keep that, and they changed it. And we have the specs. They constantly changed their specs. They couldn't keep it up because they couldn't have a prototype, they said. And then they pissed off and pushed people away. Arrogance. I've said this before, I'll say it again. Mike Kennedy and your team, you are not there yet. You don't have a fucking console. You don't have anything on there but promises. Now you're probably sitting there and have got something ready to go. I bet you've got a prototype going because you got your ass kicked. I don't want you guys to fail. I would love something to be around $200 and some odd dollars, at least getting into it, that have a new console like that. I'll buy this son of a bitch quicker than anything to make anybody's head spin. But it has to have games. It has to have, that's another point. It's got not only cartridges, I forgot, it's got to have the games. Sure, it's okay to re-release. It's got to have new games and old games. Cartridges are not over expensive and have good storage. And you've got to have a good price point. Can you deliver that? If you can, that's awesome. If not, we're going to see Retro VGS failure 2.0. And I hope it's not. So I rambled long enough. Yeah, I've rambled for a little bit here. What do you guys think? Coleco Chameleon, can it work? Will it work? Do you trust the Retro VGS Inc. team? Do you trust Mike Kennedy's team? Tell me what you think below. Comment, subscribe, share this with anybody that's even thought about the Retro VGS. And just, since this is retro, this is going to be on skirmishfrogs.com. Please go there for all your retro gaming news. All right, everybody. Pickyo Gamer, out.